Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to Juniversal, and we have traveled from 1980 2 years to 1982, where we are taking a look at E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial, a personal childhood favorite of mine. Uh, yeah, grew up with it. Had a VHS. Saw the VHS. The VHS with the little green top thing. No one knew what that was. There's a design thing, but it doesn't really make sense with green. You think it would be beige or something, but yeah, it was green, and I watched it all the times, and I have it somewhere. I don't know where, but it's somewhere. I was gonna try to dig it out. It's somewhere over there, where my VHSs are, collecting dust. But yeah, I watched the hell out of this, and then I bought. I never. It's weird, but it happens to me often. Well, I'll have a movie that I really like, but I want the DVD, and it's not till it comes to Blu-ray or 4K that I will buy it. Like it was that way. E.T. I don't think I ever had the DVD. I bought the Blu-ray DVD combo pack. I don't remember having the actual just the DVD. I don't think. You think I would have though, but no. Uh, it was the same thing with the Superman movies. I didn't own the Superman movies on DVD. I just bought them. No, I had Superman Returns on DVD. It was it. The rest of them I didn't. I bought the Blu-rays from the $5 bin at Walmart. Harry Potter, I did have the DVDs, but you know, bought the so yeah, it's I don't know why I mentioned Harry Potter anyway. But this is one of those I didn't have the DVD. I did weird. I got the Blu-ray. I got the 4K. And I got the Steelbook back there and the 4K. The Blu-ray I don't have anymore. But actually, it's not the 4K. I do have the 4K. The Steelbook and the 4K. Yeah, the Steelbook is the DVD and Blu-ray, and then the 4K is the anniversary edition. It comes with the soundtrack, which I've listened to many times. Fantastic score by John Williams. This, my favorite director, Steven Spielberg. One of my favorite composers. Up there, him, Jerry Goldsmith. Hans Zimmer is good. You know. I can't think of any more but those three for some reason. Danny Elfman, hello. Danny Elfman's a good one, though a lot of his stuff does. A lot of his stuff is kind of recycled sometimes, you know. But uh, yeah, but yeah, and it tells the story of Elliot, who one night comes across an extraterrestrial alien that he names E.T., which stands for extraterrestrial. And yeah, this movie is really good. I love this movie. It's a childhood favorite. Like I said, I watched it many, many times on the VHS at home and my grandma's, and just yeah, it was E.T. man. It was E.T. Showed my son when he was younger. Would run around going, yeah. He loves the movie. I love the movie. Everyone loves the movie. I think it's one of Spielberg's best. I know a lot of people will throw out movies like Schindler's List or Amistad or those drama movies, you know. But like, I'm sitting here and I say things like Jurassic Park and this. Raiders of the Lost Ark, though I think Temple of Doom is better. The first three Indiana Jones are good. The other two, not so much. Those people did direct 4, but not 5. Ready Player One of his newer ones, is good. I can't wait for Disclosure Day. They said new Steven Spielberg. I'm like, yes. One, please. I'm in. I don't care. Steven Spielberg. Though I did not watch Meet the Fablemans, because that just didn't look like something for me. And I do need to rewatch Close Encounters of the Third Kind, because I don't think my review was right. I got a comment on that video where someone's like, "This is my favorite Spielberg movie," and after your review, and if I hadn't seen it and I watched your review, I wouldn't think it was a very good movie. I'm like, well, First of all, if you hadn't seen it, don't watch my review. But that's my opinion. I need to rewatch it. I don't think I paid attention enough. This was my problem. And, I apologize. There were sometimes, I don't know, maybe I do need to give it another shot. We'll that only time will tell. But, yeah, and cast in this, you have Henry Thomas, who, by the way, Henry Thomas, Robert McNaughton, Drew Barrymore, Dee Wallace. They are the 4 top ones. Top cast. You get the guy with the keys. He's around there somewhere. Harrison Ford was supposed to be in this movie as the principal, but that scene was cut, which is fine. The girl, I believe, there's a girl that he kisses at some point, and I believe was that Erica Eleniak? It was. I'm like, is that? It is her. Very young Erica Eleniak. But also, just out of nowhere, C. Thomas Howell is in this movie. He's there. And then there's Greg. Shut up, Greg! This movie got me in trouble. Because there's a line in the movie where Elliot says, something like, no, he's not penis breath. And so, as a kid, I didn't know, I wasn't allowed to say that because no one said nothing to me. So my grandpa and I are going back and forth, just kind of messing with each other. And I yell out, call him penis breath. And then, I don't think I got in big trouble, but it's like, no, you don't say that. Because I didn't know what that means. So it's like, yeah. And by the way, a few years ago, for the 40th anniversary of this movie, Drew Barrymore and her talk show brought her, McNaughton, Henry Thomas, Dee Wallace, all on her show. She brought herself on the show. She brought Dee Wallace, Robert McNaughton, and Henry Thomas on the show, and she said this, and I agree. The movie would not work without Henry Thomas's performance. And I think that's why Spielberg casted it perfectly. You could get other boys in there. Hell, you could have C. Thomas Howell playing the role, and I don't think he would have done as well. He's good in The Outsiders, you know what I mean? Tommy Howell, great actor. I just think Henry Thomas is better. And, it's, and then little Drew Barrymore. And when I was a kid, I thought, oh, that's the girl from the Brady Bunch. I thought that was the little girl from the Brady Bunch. And no. They look similar, though. If you look at Susan, I forgot her name, who plays Cindy in the Brady Bunch, the original Brady Bunch. Not the movie, the original one. They look similar. So, and as a kid, you don't know. By the way, who knew that the Elliot's last name was Taylor? Elliot. I just saw that right now. But, yeah. And let's go ahead and start talking about the movie then. The E.T.'s aliens drop on Earth. Apparently they're gathering plant specimens. And it's in California. I never put that together either. I should have. It's nice. It's nice around Halloween. There's no, brown leaves or anything. The government agents show up and chase them around. One is left behind as the rest leave, and that is E.T. My question is always, one of the things I want to know, how did they know? Did they, I guess they could have seen the ship, but they're just there out of nowhere. I feel like maybe, by the way, I want to point this out. Watch the theatrical version. If you don't know what I mean, in 2002, Steven Spielberg decided to release a director's cut. But his director's cut, he took a cue from his buddy George Lucas, and he added CGI to the movie. And there's a scene that lives in it for me, a scene where E.T. is in the bathtub and he pops out, and it's the most horrendous looking 2002 CGI. Like it's a cartoon. He also infamously replaced all the guns with walkie-talkies. This was an 80s movie. You don't fuck with 80s movies, dude. You don't. George Lucas is there. Guns are kind of bad. You take those out of me. Those scenes you have on the floor. You say you couldn't do it because the one in the bathtub. You need to put a little CGI in there. The computer generated stuff. You ain't good. And he should have said, no, George, no. You did that to your movies. I'm not doing it to mine. But he did it anyway. But he has since walked back on that. Is now every release is the theatrical release. He realized, my bad, I did it wrong. So the theatrical one is the way to go. Do not watch the director's cut. It's terrible. They added stuff. No, wasn't needed. So anyway, one alien is left behind, and it's left to find its way, and eventually finds its way to Elliot's house at the Taylor. I don't know. So one question I've always had. So there's the scene that starts. Mike and his friends, Greg and the others, they're there playing what I assume is to be D&D. In 1982, no, it's possible. They're playing some kind of game, because they say that Greg is the game master, right? So he's captain, and then... but they're sitting around the table, and you see smoke coming up from the table. But not once in this movie do you see anyone smoking. And a question I've always asked is, who's smoking at this table? Is it one of Greg's friends? The mom? They seem to try to get away with a lot because they ordered the pizza and the mom didn't know about it. And Ellie gets scared and drops the pizza. By the way, I still eat that. It was in a box. It's fine. Kids, it's messed up. Eat the pizza. Alright? Eat the pizza! Oh. He gets scared. He calls it a goblin. And here's the thing I didn't realize after all this time watching this. They don't recognize it as an alien right away. It takes a little while. Even to the point when, after they come home from school and everything, and what is it? I don't know, it's not a goblin, it's something else. And then it's not till Elliot's or E.T.'s that they realize, oh, he's an alien. So it takes a little while, right? He uses the Reese's Pieces to lure E.T. back to his room. I'll call him E.T. And he hides him there. The next morning, Elliot pretends to be sick, doing the oldest trick in the book, taking the thermometer, putting it on a light bulb, right? Put it on a light bulb, and then put it in your mouth and make it like you're sick, right? They do that. Some people put it in their oatmeal. Some people I even seen put it in their armpit, but I don't know how that works. But you ever try that as a kid? I feel like a lot of kids try that because of this movie, and parents. But she buys it, and everyone leaves. I like how it cuts to and it's weird because in this scene, and in this scene only, she allows Michael to pull the car out, and he's horrendous with it. Because the next day, they all go on the bus together except for Gertie, who goes with the mom. So I'm like, but the mom dropped him. He's riding the bus now. I don't know. So Elliot then starts showing E.T. around his room, including all the Star Wars characters that George Lucas allowed him to use. A Snaggletooth. The only one that I recognized was Lando Calrissian. All the Star Wars characters, and then that shark thing that I wanted. There's a Pez dispenser. This is Pez. It's candy. You eat it, right? All that stuff. I wanted Elliot's room because it's got big ass walk-in closet, dude. I just sleep in the closet. What are you talking about? It's a giant closet. I wanted that closet. I didn't have... No. I mean, I got a big opening closet, but I got shit in there. I can't sleep in there. Could if I took the shit out. Then where would I put it, But anyway. Yeah. Then Mike and Gertie come home. Mike has to promise Elliot has absolute power. Yes. Which is something I'd never heard. Absolute power. To this day, I still don't know exactly. Like I'm in complete control of the situation. Is that what it is? I think that's what it means. I don't know, but yeah, I can surmise that, I guess. But it's hold on. I still have a little bit, but you know, I'm hoping it'll go completely away. But then Gertie comes home, and we get the scene everyone's seen where she freaks out, E.T. freaks out, and they have to hide him, right? Is this where she goes in and he's in it? No, that's the next day. So, yeah. And they all agree to keep E.T. hidden after they threaten to take the doll's head off. But, yeah. This is where they talk to E.T. and he tells them about where it comes from. He levitates a bunch of balls to represent the planetary system, and then and yeah, he brings a dead flower, which I guess is a chrysanthemum, back to life. I didn't know a flower was. I thought it was a daisy. I thought it was daisies. And then heals Elliot's finger. Ouch. 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 Yeah. And then we get what, to me, is the best part of the movie. So the next day, everyone's going to school. You know, the kids, they go to the bus stop, except for Gertie, who the mom takes her in. Yeah. Question: what is a Sinus Supremus? Right? I guess we gotta ask that question, don't we? We figured out what an orange whip was. I don't want to know what an orange whip is now. Sinus Supremus, I don't know how to spell that. I'm gonna put E.T. in first. E.T. So it has a cue of what I'm looking for here. E.T. Sinna. So. Primus. What in the world is a Sinus Supremus? There it is. What Greg says. Sinus Supremus. This hasn't bugged me for a long time. And resurfaced, I showed it to my kids the other day. At one point in the film, Elliot trades salts with his brother's buddies. One of them, Greg, calls him Sinus Supremus. That is the spelling according to the subtitles. Nobody seems to know. It's the same as a Neo Maxi Zoom Dweeby. News to me. My friends and I thought it was Penis Supremus. No. Morning. Not worth it. Watched it again and still no idea. Did you hear Star Wars at 3 seconds? What? Maybe some odd alien species he encountered? Why would Greg be saying it then? No, it's been sinister. This one says that Spielberg sanitized E.T. and took out the word terrorist and replaced guns with walkie-talkies. No, he's been saying Sinus Supremus since I was a kid in the original version. So in the theatrical version, I was a replacement for you. Zero Supremus, which also makes no sense. Sinus Supremus, called Elliot Supremus, he's sinister. No. Sphinctus Supremus? No. Sintus Supremus, let me... Sintus Supremus. Canadian community voice. I'm getting like cleaning supplies when I type that in. There's another one. cvoicequestions.org. What does Sentis Supremus mean? Context. The dialogue between the seamstress Elliot and Greg, their insults to each other, typical kids, especially boys at that age, spelled especially wrong. There probably is an official Latin equivalent, but Elliot starts taunting Greg by telling him he has zero charisma. Sentis Supremus, zero charisma. Zero charisma. The ashes and supremacist is fairly obvious. So technically could mean a pile of ashes, top or supreme pile of ashes. Call him a pile of shit, maybe? I don't know. Surely not what Greg had in mind. More like the writer's attempt to have the character sound boyishly insulting in what Greg implies to be an educated, superior way. No. Why did it? It's bound. Circle. I don't know. It's something I've always wondered. Sentis Supremus. I guess we'll never know. It's just something thrown in there. Yeah, so then, like I said, but pardon me, they go to school. And it's time to dissect the frogs. But E.T. has been left at home alone. He's not Macaulay Culkin. He's home alone. So while he's there, he starts to explore the house, including the fridge, in which he finds beer. So E.T. gets wasted, and this is where the first time it starts to affect Elliot. Something that to this day, over 40 years later, is never explained. It's the most confusing thing in the movie. Not explain how they're connected, never explain how they disconnect and everything goes back to normal. It just happens. Nobody knows. And I can never figure it out myself. How the connection works. He gets drunk, and then Elliot's in school, he gets drunk. He releases all the frogs. He kisses Erica Laniak and runs off. And presumably this is where Harrison Ford will show up to talk to the mom. But, yeah. I do like he's just drunk. Right? And he's watching TV. And he's grabbing stuff to start building something. E.T. is watching John Wayne kiss... Yeah, he kisses Maureen O'Hara in The Quiet Man. And so Elliot somehow picks that up and kisses the girl. Yeah. E.T. sees a Buck Rogers comic strip depicting the character calling for help with a communication device. So this is where E.T. phone home. He builds with a speak and say and a bunch of other shit put together to build. Yeah. That's where Elliot comes home and finds out that E.T. can speak English now. Elliot. What? Elliot. Ah! I always love that. Ah! Like you said, man. I always love that reaction. Ah! Oh, God! You dressed him like a girl! And he says, Elliot. What? Elliot. Ah! Like he speak. Say E.T. 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 Yeah. Home. E.T. Phone. Home. Yes. So we get... I don't know. We do see that there are government agents running around. The guy with the keys, who's known only as Keys. The actor has a name, but he's known only as Keys. Keys, government agent bent on capturing E.T. Peter Coyote. Still alive. You know, I don't click it. I know he's still alive because it says is. If it was dead, it would say was. So, excuse me. Yeah. So it's Halloween times. and they dressed E.T. up like a ghost and pretended it's Gertie. I forget, where is Gertie at this point? They think it's Gertie. And they go out. I like how she takes a picture with the flash and fall down. And then we get another Star Wars Connection moment. Someone dressed as Yoda and E.T. going, oh. Which implies that E.T. knows Yoda, or at least whatever is his race. And this is doubled down on in, is it Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones, where you see E.T.'s people in the Senate. One of them says, hey, you did a solve for me, pal. I'm going to put him in there. Steven Spielberg's like, I know you don't need to. I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. And so we get, they kind of, I guess Gertie meets them somewhere, isn't it? And so then they fly for the first time over the moon, and land in the middle of the field where they set up this device to phone home, which he does. And then they fall asleep. And then, out of nowhere, E.T. is just dying now. Yeah, I never got that. He's perfectly fine the night before. There's no signs that he's going to die. And all of a sudden, the next day, you can't find him and he's dying in a pond. Or creek or whatever. What? I never got that. I don't understand it. How all of a sudden is he now dying? Does his kidneys deteriorate and the beer killed him? What is this going on here? Right? And also, Elliot is starting to grow weaker. They take him home, they show the mom, and she freaks out and tries to get them out of there, but the government shows up in astronaut suits for some reason. Did they not have any hazmat suits available? I'm watching this and I'm like, yeah, why isn't he astronaut suit? Is that the only thing they had available at the time? Yeah. And so then they set up this whole thing, quarantine situation. Apparently Keyes was a childhood dream for him to meet aliens, and he considers E.T.'s arrival a genuine miracle. Though I don't know how much I would trust him against the government, And then E.T. dies, and then Elliot recovers. And I'm watching this. I'm like, I know it's a kid's movie. I watched this a million times. And I'm sitting there and I go, you know what? That's a cop-out. That's a cop-out. Everything that E.T. and Elliot have a connection, right? So shouldn't Elliot die too? Only thing I can think of is that Elliot, or E.T., severed the connection because he knew he wasn't going to make it. So he severed the connection, and Elliot could survive. And then E.T. comes back to life for some reason. Again, never explained. He's crying, and he sees alive, so he pretends to cry. And I like when they take him out, he pretends, he sees the plants come back to life. It's like, he's alive. So they have to get him out of there. So Greg drives the truck that they're in, and they get, not Greg, Mike. Mike drives the truck that they're in, and they get to Greg and the others, and C. Thomas Howell is also there, to help them save E.T. And this is where they all fly over the moon. To lead them back to the forest, where the other aliens have arrived. Could it be that the aliens getting the message, they sent some sort of signal to E.T. to save him? I don't know. It's never explained. It's just never explained. It never explained. Even in the Wikipedia article I'm looking at, there's no explanation for any of that. He comes back to life. That's just it. And according to Wikipedia, it's because Elliot tells E.T. that he loves him. Fucking hot! No, I don't know. Yeah. And then, the ship arrives, and we get the moment where everyone cries. He gives him planet to take with him, which we don't know that his planet's atmosphere can sustain planet life. They could die as soon as it gets there. I don't know. That could be a thing. They could say, hey, because he's been on our planet too long, the atmosphere isn't stable enough for him to stay. And that they could say that's how he dies. He's dying. Right? I don't know. He says goodbye to Mike and Gertie, and then stay home. I'll be right here. It says head, but right here. His heart. The John Williams score plays as the alien ship flies away into space, and the movie comes to a close. The end. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And again, 2 in a row here goes to the moon, or wherever E.T. lives. To the moon, baby. It's fantastic. There was a follow-up. There was never a sequel. Steven Spielberg had an idea for a sequel called E.T. 2 Nocturnal Fears, which never happened. It was supposed to be a darker version, but it never came to fruition. But there was a follow-up, a commercial for Sky something, in which Elliot, now grown up with his family, reunites with E.T., and they would do some streaming stuff on the Sky app or something. I watched it before this review. It's a nice little fun thing. But the reunion I liked, it was an episode of Freakazoid, in which they had a parody of an E.T. sequel, E.T. 2, in which E.T. comes home to a now college-aged Elliot, and E.T. is bugging the shit out of him, and Elliot just wants to date girls. It was fun when I was 10, but I gotta find girls now. I swear. I swear. No, that's not what I want. The sound's off, but I swear that's a thing. I remember it. I remember. So you don't have to. That's not me. That's not my thing. Are you kidding me? E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial. Here we go. E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial. Freakazoid. Not M. R. Freakazoid. It's not here. Maybe not E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial. This E.T. Freakazoid. I swear. Unless I have to search on the other thing for it. Man, I hate this thing. I hit the freaking... If I go... Let's look it up here. I swear it was E. Come on. E. D. There's, huh? There's nothing there. I have to put ET2 on there because that's what it was. Freakazoid. Seemed to have to the Freakazoid. Freakazoid recaps. Alright. It's going Freakazoid 2 instead of... Well, I just put... Oh, it says Freakazoid scene. Hold on. It just says the Freakazoid. What doesn't... I don't have any sound. Let me go here. Skim through it. Why is there gotta be ads on fucking everything? Why is this lady smelling at me? It's weird. She was creepy. Hey. I don't see it. The Freakazoid. This is not... Nope. This is not what I was looking for. Why does it say that? I don't know, but I swear there was one. Okay? But yeah, like I said, To the Moon. One of the best. One of Spielberg's best. And, yeah. So what are your thoughts on E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial? Thank you for watching. Leave those comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Excuse me a minute. Where are you? Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and come back tomorrow. Well, we're going back to high school. I'll see you. See you in the next one.